Value, chroma, and hue. These are the three elements that make up color. Value is how light or dark a color is. Chroma is how intense the color is, and that's what we're going to talk about today. The third element is hue, and that is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. What makes something chromatic? The most chromatic colors we have are those really bright, cheerful colors that we see. But we also have a red, for example, that is more neutral. This carpet behind me is a red carpet, but it's a more neutralized red compared to, say, the red of my colored pencil. And if I put them next to each other, you can see that my colored pencil is much more chromatic, and the opposite of chroma is neutral. Neutral is less chromatic. It's the opposite of chroma. So this pencil is more chromatic than the carpet. The carpet is more neutral red than the colored pencil red. We're gonna do a theoretical exercise today where we discover how to control the chroma and the neutrality of our colors. We're gonna start by just drawing a circle on our paper and starting with a basic color wheel. I remember doing this in elementary school, and we do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So we're gonna start with that concept. Start with my red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Now, I'm using colored pencil right now. If you have crayon or watercolor, any sort of color media will work for this exercise. Now, we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Those are hues. Chroma is talking about how intense the color is. These are fairly intense versions of each of these colors, but there's lots of other colors that we can choose from that don't have the same level of intensity. Typically, we do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and we call it a day, and that's the end of our color wheel exercise. What a lot of people don't know is that the center of the color wheel is for a neutral. Neutrals are kind of what you would think of to be a gray, but it's not a green gray or an orange gray or a red gray. It's a gray that doesn't look like any other color. I'm gonna look through my options here and see if I can find a gray that doesn't look like any other color. Like, to me, this looks like a pretty neutral color. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it down in the center of my page. And don't be afraid to mix colors. This is a little bit warm. Do you see how it feels like it belongs with the orange and the red more than it belongs with the green and the blue? So I'm gonna find a cooler version and kind of mix it together with that one. So this one's a little bit cooler. I'm gonna throw that down on top to just cool down our neutral. We might have to go a little cooler than that. There we go. Okay, do you see how when I put the cool down, it made it so that this was less attached to the orange and the red and still not too far to green and blue? It really feels like it's in the center of our circle now. So if this is true neutral, and these are our most chromatic colors on the outside, we also have colors all the way in between neutral and, say, orange, or neutral and red, or neutral and blue. So I found this blue in my box, and I think this blue is very pretty, but this is not as chromatic of a blue as this, but it's still more blue than the neutral. So it's gonna go somewhere between the neutral and the chromatic blue. This is a really fun game to play, especially if you have random colors in your crayon box and you're like, what's this color? What should I do with this? Let's take a look at some more neutrals here. This is a green, but this green is not as intense as the green I have here. But it's not a true neutral either, so it's gonna go somewhere in between the two. So I'm gonna go ahead and place it in between my most chromatic green and my more neutralized green. The hardest colors to see are the ones that are really close to neutral. Neutral is such a difficult color to find. You hear this a lot with interior designers. They say, oh, I want a cool gray. Oh, I want a warm gray. What they're really saying is that they want yellow neutral or an orange neutral versus a blue neutral. That's what a warm and cool gray is. In theory, this could be a warm gray. This is a neutralized red. So here's my red, here's my neutral. This is actually more of a neutralized between red and orange. Like, this is kind of a peachy color. So I'm gonna place it between orange and red because it's somewhere in between, and it's slightly neutralized. So I'm gonna place it on the interior of my circle. Have you ever noticed that brown is not on the outside of the color wheel? It's not red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, but brown is a color we use a lot. But what brown actually means is usually brown is an orange that's been neutralized. Here's my orange, here's my neutral. I'm gonna place it just outside of my neutral. So when you understand chroma and neutrality, you can understand how to control lots of different colors that you come across in nature. And if you can identify the value and the chroma and the hue of any color that you see with your eyes, you can paint it accurately with the right color.